Welcome to another episode of Let's Play 1001 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we are looking at Space Harrier,
Welcome to the fantasy zone.
which, from that title screen, it's kind of interesting. It's called Space Harrier. This kind of doesn't look like you're in space at all. I mean, I guess you're on some kind of weird alien planet, but let's just hop into this right now. So, I mean, yeah, there's like a woolly mammoth, there's a mech. This is a classic Sega arcade game. Our guy is, I guess, friends with the mech, although it kind of looks like a girl. It looks like you have breasts there, so... I don't know what's going on, but let's start it off. This is Space Harrier. We're blowing up clouds. They're sort of Space Invader type guys. Were those mechs? Oh, that's cool. You can kind of run along the ground. Ooh. Don't take one of those to the face. Many more battle scenes will soon... I didn't catch that. Alright, so this is, So I went from playing Metal Gear Solid back to an old arcade game like Space Harriers here. And you may be asking yourself, is there any rhyme or reason to the games this guy is going to be playing? And the answer is no. I'm going to play kind of... Ooh.
Get ready.
Many more battle scenes will soon be available. I don't know what that means. And why are they telling me that when I die? It's kind of confusing. And what are those? What's happening? Okay, rhyme or reason, yes. I'm going to play games in whatever order makes sense to me. And I kind of want this series to be like, a box of chocolates. Or when you tune in each week, you really have no idea what you're going to get. Sometimes we're going to be playing classic games. Sometimes we're going to be playing newer games. If you're just joining us, every game from this series is coming from a book called 1001 Games You Must Play Before You Die, and it is my mission to actually make it through that book. So Space Harrier is a recommendation from that book. I'm doing awful here. I gotta concentrate on hitting this guy's head. Alright, come here, buddy. Ooh, got him. You get points for just surviving in this game, which is kind of cool. Because, let's face it, Oh, jeez. Those are like little gremlin guys.
Get ready.
Insert coins. Alright. I'm down with that. So, kind of a funny little thing happened when I was trying to research this game. First of all, is this not the most psychedelic thing you've ever seen? The book... So I read about this game before I decided to play it. And the book said that this is just an insane psychedelic style shooter. It apparently uses the same technology as Outrun. So, this whole, this faux 3D effect that we're seeing here. Back in 1985 when this game came out, this was pretty, ooh, this is interesting. I have to dodge all these little poles, which I'm not good at.
Get ready.
Back when this game came out, this kind of, 3D effect wasn't super common, so it was actually pretty revolutionary. And I guess the arcade cabinet for this, they had versions where you could just play it normally, but there was an arcade where you could sort of literally get in and sit down on this chair that would like rotate you and move you and like really immerse you in this game. I thought it was a chair when I read about it. I thought they were kind of describing. If you've ever seen Terminator 2, there's a scene where John Connor's in the arcade playing Afterburner, and he's kind of like totally encased in this arcade cabinet with like a joystick so he can fly around. I thought it was like that, but apparently it was quite a bit different. You weren't totally encased when you played this game. Anyway, I don't know why that's relevant, but there you go. Same technology as Afterburner, slightly different arcade cabinet. That's the gist of what I was saying there. Go away, robots. I mean, this guy's having a bad day. When, like, mushrooms, robots, gremlins, and a dragon team up against you, that is like the alliance to end all alliances. I don't know how mushrooms, dragons, robots, and gremlins figured out they were on the same team, but that's a meeting I would like to have sat in on, just to see. What was the mushrooms' contribution to that meeting?
Get ready.
How does a mushroom even communicate? Oh no. I guess Mario has like an uneasy alliance with mushrooms, considering that they kind of grant him powers. Although there are poison mushrooms. Okay, now we're fighting a two-headed dragon who kind of has like a butt in the middle. Stage 4. CCL. Whoa. Now we got ground above and below. Okay, this is... Woo! You do not want to play this game when you have had a single drink, because this would make you sick, I think. I'm getting a little nauseous just looking at this. Oh man, it's... And where are we?
Get ready.
It's pretty common for these old games to just drop you in with like no context for what's happening, but like... Am I going to save someone? Am I just on my way to the store? I don't know. This kind of reminds me a bit of Star Fox, actually. Freaking robots. I thought we were friends, man.
You're doing great.
Ooh, bonus stage. Can I shoot? It's a giant cat now. I'm riding the cat. Whoa! Yeah, I want to ride a giant cat. Whoever thought of this was the most creative person in the world. Oh, yeah, this is something interesting. So I blew up, what, 6 shrubs and 2 trees. Is that good? I didn't even realize that's what I was supposed to do. Come back, cat, come back!
You're doing great.
Oh, he's gone. Okay, so I was doing a little research about this game because I'd never played it before. Ugh. Clearly, as you can tell.
Get ready.
Apparently it takes place in something called, what is it, the Fantasy Zone? Hold on here, let me check my notes. Yeah, the Fantasy Zone. So I'm on Wikipedia reading about this. It takes place in the Fantasy Zone. And the Fantasy Zone is highlighted, like I can click it. Like a link, so I think, well, what? Is the Fantasy Zone a thing? So I clicked it. I'm fighting jets now? Okay, I think this guy is tripping on something. He ate a bad mushroom. Because he is just, you know, going through all types of worlds here. The rules of reality and logic cease to make sense for this guy here. What is this now? Blue balls?
Get ready.
I'm fighting blue balls? Can I kill them? Man.
Get ready.
Okay, we're gonna keep going. The great thing about these old arcade games is that if you have the money, you get to beat it. It's pay to win, man. Pay to win. Okay, so Fantasyland was highlighted. I clicked on it. Whoa, now we're fighting mammoths? But these are just innocent bystanders, surely. These animals mean me no harm. Maybe I'm the invader and these robots are trying to stop me. They're like, you're in a nature reserve! God, stop shooting, please! Please, please, don't kill the mammoths! There's like dinosaur bones? Anyway, Fantasyland is the world that another Sega game takes place in. A game called Opa Opa? Which I had never heard of, but immediately it looked incredibly bizarre, so I started to read about that.
Get ready.
This is what happens on Wikipedia. You start reading one article, and then you click a link to another one, and another one, and another one, and I don't know about you guys, but there's where my afternoons often go. So Opa Opa, which I'm actually thinking of playing immediately next, just so we can see it, because it takes place in the same world as this, which is kind of weird. I'm like, how many games that are totally unrelated take place in the same world? So I really am kind of curious for this Opa Opa game. Opa Opa was sometimes referred to as Sega's first mascot. And it was part of a cute 'em up subgenre, which again, I'd never heard of. What is a cute 'em up? It is a shoot 'em up with highly stylized cute enemies. And apparently in Japan, sometimes sexualized enemies. If this game wasn't bizarre enough, does that make any sense to you? It takes place in the same world as a cute 'em up called Opa Opa, which was Sega's first mascot, which I've never heard of, and I assume most of you haven't. I think we gotta play that game next. I'm officially making it, part of the schedule. The next game in this series will be Opa Opa. It'll be a bonus. I'll just attach it to... Or no, it'll be off the books. Off the books or bonus? I don't know. So sometimes when I do extra videos, I call them bonus videos, and sometimes I call them off the books. I don't really know. I don't really have a good reason for differentiating one from the other. I guess because I've talked about it in this video, I'll have to call it a bonus, so it will be in the Let's Play 1001 Games playlist. Off the books is just sort of when I play an old game that I want to play. Totally has nothing to do with where I am in this series. Okay, so those are the rules for bonus and off the books. We figured it out. Things are just getting crazier now. I kind of want to see how crazy this game gets. We're 11 minutes in, and we're about halfway through the game. And guess what? I have unlimited quarters. You know, one thing I wish is that there were actually... I just walked right into that one. There's a decided lack of weaponry in this game. You really have, well, this gun, and that's about it. Also, in most games, when you take a hit, your guy dies. My guy clearly gets up. I think he's just exaggerating. He just wants the attention. It's like, in soccer, when those guys get hurt, they, like, really ham it up, so they try and get a penalty for the other team. So when this guy takes a hit, he's like, "Oh God, it hurts. You should just lay down. You shouldn't fight me anymore." What does that mission mean about, or what does that statement mean about more missions being available soon? Ooh, back to the... See, this level, before the roof came down, there was a really cool background in the back, and now it's totally covered. So what's the point of that? The roof is kind of a neat idea, but see, in the far horizon, there's like that one line of pixels. That's a fully, someone drew that entire background. Somebody got hired at Sega, they sat down, and they were supposed to draw a fully fleshed out background for this game, and they did it, and then the programmers just covered it up. If that was my background, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, you do not put my background on a roof level. You do not do it. You don't do that to me. Ooh, look at this. Okay. I just jammed in a bunch of quarters to make up for my clear lack of ability here. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, there's the background. Fine. Does this remind you guys of Star Fox? Is that the boss? Did I just kill him? My God. That boss should be ashamed of himself. So does this remind you of Star Fox? And were you guys fans of Star Fox? I was a huge fan of the original Star Fox on Super Nintendo. I played that so many times. I couldn't beat every Super Nintendo game I owned, but I could totally beat Star Fox. Were you guys... Did you like the Super Nintendo Star Fox or the N64 one? I actually never had an N64, so there are a handful of games, not a handful, a whole bunch that I'm going to end up playing because of the series that are on N64. Even just getting used to the controller is going to be interesting. I mean, I played GoldenEye and stuff. Friends always, every time you went over to friends' houses, they always wanted you to play GoldenEye. Which, I mean, at the time I was playing like Quake and stuff on the PC. And so I was kind of like, let's just have a LAN party and play a real shooter. And people didn't take too kindly to that. People who liked GoldenEye didn't like hearing that. But hey man, I didn't own an N64. Honestly, the first-person shooter controllers on console, GoldenEye was revolutionary for its time, but it was nothing compared to the PC. Like, put a mouse in front of somebody, they can aim so much better. You know, Quake and stuff were just,
Get ready.
in my opinion, at the time, better games, but hey, I recognize the importance of GoldenEye. Wouldn't have games like Halo or Gears of War or any of that if it wasn't for GoldenEye, so. Definitely has its place in history, and I think I probably have to play it for this series. I don't think I can get away without playing GoldenEye, so. Oh.
Get ready.
Hey, you know who this guy looks like? He looks like the guy from Contra. He's got the blue pants and just like a machine gun.
Get ready.
He has a lot harder time moving in the world than the guy from Contra. But it's similar. It's like a one-hit kill. If they switch the to the bow of Contra, this could 100% be a Contra game. Now they're recycling boss mechanics. Come here, you stupid dragon. Why does everything shoot a fireball? It's a fireball or those glowing ellipses or whatever they are. Oh, these bosses are nothing. Alright, here comes my cat. His name is Mr. Sparkles. No, wait, that's from The Simpsons. His name is Doobie-Doo. And Doobie-Doo likes to smash stuff. I don't know how to make him go down. Doobie-Doo. It's like the worst name for a cat. If somebody named their cat Doobie-Doo, admit it, you judge them.
Great.
I wonder if we meet Opa Opa in this. Probably you guys have no idea what Opa Opa is. He's like a little spaceship. I mean, I only saw him on the Wikipedia page. Again, we're gonna play Opa Opa next, and we'll get a better sense of this world. Maybe we'll play it from like a different perspective. Maybe Opa Opa is on the side of all these other creatures who are getting shot up by this intruder here, which is me. Sort of like when they don't do it often, but when you see a TV episode or a book or something, it's from a different character's point of view, and like you realize the main character from the first book or show or whatever maybe wasn't as, you know, the good guy as they made it out to be. Sort of, you know, you can take different perspectives in this world, see different things. What's happening here? Oh god.
Get ready. You're doing great.
So, oh yeah, there it is. I was gonna say, another thing I read about this game is that every time you pass a level, it tells you, you're doing great.
Get ready.
I like games that are positive. I mean, I know he's just placating me because nobody in their right mind can look at what I'm doing right now and say I'm doing great. How many lives have I lost?
Get ready.
I'm willing to say I'm in the 30s. And that's horrible. I'm that annoying rich kid who just totally bogarts the arcade machine. And he sucks at the game. It's hard to watch him play. But he has the money. Kind of a metaphor for all of life, eh? If you have the money, you can be bad at something and still be allowed to do it. Okay, here's a boss. This guy, he lost his child to me in an earlier level, and he's sort of in a grief-stricken rage. He's not a violent person, but he's just so filled with remorse that he let his son go out and fight me. And now I just killed him. So I've given him the eternal release that he needed. Very sad story, actually, for that boss. But I think that's canon. Pretty sure it is. You know you're in a rough environment when even the clouds are like... You have to shoot them and blow them up.
Get ready.
Or they're gonna take you out. And like, this guy's going so fast that he hits a rock and it literally kills him. Maybe you should slow down a little bit, bud. I mean, what's the rush here? You know, like, when I rush my way through something, I don't do a good job of it. Clearly, this guy feels a little rushed.
Get ready.
Oh, man. Sometimes I feel like the game's just giving me one. Like, I feel like I clearly hit a pole. It's kind of just letting me have it. It's like, you know what? You've dumped enough quarters. And that's my robot. He's supposed to be my friend. Why in the title screen would they show me sitting on that guy's shoulders chilling and then make him a bad guy? Oh, man. Boss again. Boss again. This guy's called Bony Bones. And, he's pretty popular in monster terms. He's dead now, though, so it doesn't really matter. Dodging with expert skill, we were able to make short work of Bony Bones. Something else is, how's my guy flying?
Get ready.
I mean, I guess I assume it's this kind of gun he's holding, because it has the kind of glowing red things at the back, but there's no jets or anything coming out. Am I some kind of demigod?
Get ready.
This is what happens when you pray to the wrong god. He comes down in human form with unlimited quarters and some kind of gun that shoots energy, and he just destroys your civilization. Quarter.
Get ready.
Many more battles will soon be available. What does that mean? What are you advertising for? Just come out with it, man. Don't pussyfoot around. Tell me. Do you want me to play the sequel?
Get ready.
Is there is there DLC coming out for this game? Could you imagine, like, they put into the code, like in 1985, they were like, well, if you check the calendar, it says 2015, advertise the DLC that we're planning. So that's coming out in 2016. If a game was ever that bold to plan DLC 30 years in the future, man, I wonder if that will happen one day. Surely that will never happen. Okay,
You're doing great.
Well, that was an easy boss. His strategy was to drop some henchmen. If that doesn't work, bail. You know what? That's a smart boss. That's how I would be as a boss. Drop some underlings. See how they do. If they don't do so hot, just get out of there. Just don't even fight. Oh, man. I don't know how you're legitimately supposed to play this game. I mean, I've never played this before, so it's probably why I'm doing so bad. But boy, is it hard to not hit stuff. And I maintain that it's probably, like, it would take months of playing this to get so good that you could avoid everything. Because these old arcade games weren't meant to be games that you could easily beat. You were supposed to be doing what I'm doing, which is just dumping quarters into them. Each life I'm getting like 5 seconds here. It's chaos, man. Wonder if we'll see Doobie-Doo again. Okay, now I'm fighting... What is that? Oh, it's Ghostbusters! It's the two dogs summoning Gozer. No way! Cool! I wonder if that's legitimately supposed to be Gozer. Or like some kind of reference. That's awesome. Need a proton pack here. We need to cross the streams. Killed by a rock. Oh god. Literally killed by rocks. Guys, we just made it to the last level. Ugh.
Get ready.
Get out of here, dragon. This guy's name is Roger Lowe. He's an accountant. He's not really a fighter, that's why he did so horribly. But they were just calling out all kinds. They were like, guys, literally, there's a man with a jetpack who has flown across 2,000 miles in 20 minutes, destroying absolutely everything. We think he's vulnerable to rocks and fireballs. But, like, everyone's got to get out for this one, man. Like, this dragon doesn't even look mad. He looks kind of happy. I swear I'm probably the bad guy here. Shoot him in the butt. Like, I can't even tell if I'm hitting him. Am I hitting him? Are you dying? If you're dying, change color. Thank you. That was very nice to indicate that to me. The worst is when they put bosses in that have sort of no indication of when they're taking damage. So you could be playing a game where you think you're totally not doing anything to the boss, but you're actually just about to kill him.
Get ready.
Come here, you jerk. You jerk head. In fact, you have multiple heads. And they just all ran away. Oh, God.
Get ready.
Imagine I was just like, well, that's it for my Let's Play. Like, I'm so close to the end. There's only 18 levels. I'm on the sort of boss rush phase of it. Bony bones. You go down.
Get ready.
Okay, our plan is here. We're going to insert a couple more lives. Okay, the plan is, pro tip for this game, avoid the fireballs, rocks, and laser beams. And it's a cinch. Look, see? All you gotta do is avoid this shit, guys. You just kill him. It's okay.
Get ready.
That's why we have extra lives. Didn't want that life anyway. He be dead now? I gotta say, this game totally is a quarter stealer, but the bosses are like remarkably easy. I mean, they're not bad, but I wouldn't classify these as like particularly good bosses per se. It's also strange that like I'm getting points by just surviving. I could draw out this boss battle if I wanted, if I was really concerned with high score, right? Congratulations, you win. Doobie-doo! He did come back. Kind of a weird looking cat. He reminds me of Balthazar from the Neverending Story. So wait, why did I do all that? Was it just to find my cat? Oh yeah, I have a high score. I'm always so proud of that. It's so slow though. Okay. Okay. Oh, I might run out of time here. No, we gotta get my name in there. Otherwise people will never know what I did. Yes, Jay. I had 25 times the next nearest high score. Well, that was Space Harrier. Interesting game. If you think they were on shrooms when they came up with Mario, try Space Harrier. It has a one-eyed mammoth. Which really, you don't want to be a one-eyed mammoth, you just have poor depth perception. And then the robot gets 3 eyes? What the hell? That's not fair. It was an interesting game, I would say. What does player 8 mean? Oh, that I have 8 continues, I guess, because I have extra lives. An interesting game. The pros are, I mean, put this in historical context. This was like the inspiration for Star Fox and various other shooters and stuff like that. You know, before this game had existed, you know, the idea of like a fast-moving third-person shooter like that hadn't existed. So it's pretty cool. Definitely I saw inspirations from like Space Invaders and things like that in there. Would I recommend you play this before you die? I'm on the fence about it, I gotta say. Because the cons are that there's no variety in weapons. Every stage is essentially the same, they just change up the sprites. And you die constantly. I mean, I do. I don't know if that's just me. Let's no, you know, I'm gonna leave it on the title screen, because we're about to wrap up here. So pros are, you know, historically it's quite interesting, and it's kind of, it's not a bad game, but cons are, I mean, there's a lot of, it's very simplistic, I guess, is what it boils down to. So, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say you have to play this before you die, but you could, if this piqued your interest. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. If you've liked this video, give me a like, give me a subscribe. And next, I'm going to hop in, I'm going to do a bonus video where I check out Opa Opa, or if I'm saying that right even, because apparently it takes place in the same world as Space Harrier here, and I kind of want to see what's going on. I mean, this land is called Fantasyland. It has nothing to do with space. Even look at the title, Space Harrier. It's written on like this weird kind of old plaque. And the only thing space about it is, you know, like, it's got a mammoth. It's got a mammoth on the title screen. The only thing spacey about it is this robot. And I still don't know who this woman is. I think it's me. So it must be a man. But why is he friends with the robot? Very confused. I'm hoping Opa Opa will have answers. And I guess we'll find out next time. So until then, guys, peace.